Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking about the story events and I'm going to be telling you the changes that are coming for them. If you found this video to be helpful, consider subscribing as it will help with the channel growth. A large portion of my viewers are not subscribed and it will be much appreciated. Let's talk about the changes. First up, there is going to be 2 new quality of lives for casuals and also veterans. For veterans, the first one is going to be a bingo board quality of life feature, where you could spend multiple amount of tokens in order to do a single loop. So let's say I want to do 10 bingo boards in the same time. It will let me do that. But there is possible chance of them giving us an option to just do a single rotation for the bingo board. What am I talking about? Let's say you have a clean bingo board and you have 250 or like 260 tokens. You could spend them all in one go and it will fill the bingo board as much as it can, unless like you are stupidly unlucky. You should be able to finish this in about 26 rotations. Now we'll just do it in one go, which is going to be very awesome for everybody. Next up is going to be the event double points and also double roulette coins. So how do we trigger this? If you are a casual player, you could spend double the amount of TP for you to get double the amount of event points and also roulette coins, which is going to be very helpful. If you are more active player, however, this isn't going to really help you that much, but still, for casuals, this will help them by a lot, since I know a lot of casuals do not finish the story events, while the rewards are going to be very good. Especially now, since story events are actually going to get a very big increase in rewards, it is going to matter a lot more. So I'm going to give you a basic deck over here of what you should use for, let's say you want to get the story like event points and do not really care about champions meeting, you just want to finish the track. So first things off, we want 2 speed cards, and sadly the Rework card, this one is speed. You could borrow this card and like toss any of these options over here instead of a speed card, but the thing is you want at least 2 speed cards for you to beat the career very comfortably. Which scenario is it going to be, URA finale or Unity Cup? I still do not know which scenario is going to be better, since this is going to be the first story event where we could use 2 different scenarios. So I will update this in the description once this comes out on global. But yeah, let's say you borrowed the Rework. You could pick the King Halo card or Sweep Tosho, depending on which card you have that is higher limit breaks. If both are max limit break, then it's probably going to be King Halo, since it generates more speed and you just want to beat the career for the event points. Bourbon Wet is a free card, so you will get it at max limit break very quickly. That is going to be an extra 35%, and alongside the 45%, that is going to be an 80% increase already. So if you have limit break 3 on either Rush Shower SSR cards, you will get an extra 20%, which is going to be a total of 100% event points now with Bourbon Wet and Rework or Town Cross, whichever you want to pick. And also, if you are using the Halloween Rush Shower, you will get a 10%, but you can't use the Rush Shower cards along Halloween Rush Shower. So you could just pick the following. Like if we eliminate a Rush Shower over here from the equation, you will realize that we have 5 cards over here now, being Super Creek, Rework, either of one of these 2 cards, and Rework. Like this is a deck if you want to use Halloween Rush Shower instead of using Rush Shower as a card. So yeah, I'm going to assume that you have 110% bonus. How is it calculated? Let's say the base value that you will get is 10,000. This is just an estimate, okay? 10,000. Firstly, it will multiply it by 110% from your total bonus, which now would increase it to 21,000 event points. Very nice. Let's say you double the TP, like spend double the TP and also get double the event points. You would get 42,000 instead, which is of course going to be very, very helpful, since you would need 1 million event points to clear the story event, which is of course very, very high amount, but considering that you get much more if you are a casual just spending double the TP and not really caring that much, it will still be like relatively easy for you to complete this track, because technically this, if you proc the double TP for double event points every single run, this essentially gets cut in half, which is only 500,000. So the missions, if we complete all the missions, I'm going to swap to Game Tura after I'm done with this section, since it talks about a specific thing that I don't see it mentioned, and it's going to be helpful. The missions itself are much easier to complete now, but I'm going to show you what I mean by that later. If you complete all the missions, you get 90,000 event points. So you will get 90,000 event points and 530 medals, or bingo coins, sorry. So the event lasts for 12 days, and we have 1 million event points to complete during that time. Let's subtract the 90,000 that we get from the missions, and it's going to be 910,000 remaining. Let's assume that this is the number of event points that we will get. We will need about 22 runs with double the TP, which means that per day we only need to do about 2 or 3 runs every single day with double the double TP consumption if you choose to turn it on, which is not going to be that difficult. 2 runs per day is about an hour of gameplay every single day, and I hope that you are not that busy for you to not complete it, since the rewards actually have been buffed by a very good margin, and I'm going to be giving you an example over here. But quickly I will switch to Game Tura to talk about the missions being easier. So the changes that I was talking about is going to be this. Firstly, this was the last event, which is going to be the summer event. This event missions was somewhat difficult for casuals because it required you to complete the career 30 times. I know you could purposely fail the career and just do this very easily, but I'm very against this, since you would need to spend a lot of TP bottles, and TP bottles are going to be very scarce source, so I wouldn't really recommend it. But now in Makeup and Halloween and moving onwards, it only requires you to do it 15 times, which is going to be very, very nice, since even casuals, if you just do 2 runs every single day, you would finish this very easily. But the hardest missions, this is going to be not that difficult, but if you are a complete beginner, this could be relatively hard for you, but it's still much easier if you just play the game just frequently at the start, and moving on you would have much easier time. I'm talking about the small percentage of people who just start, this is their first experience with the game. This mission could be somewhat difficult, but still, this is going to be helpful for casuals who just do not have the time to do 30 careers within the time period. As for the reward changes, this is going to assume that you have completely done the entire track for the event points. So back then it was 700,000, this is going to be 1 million. But assuming that you completely finish it, the comparison is that you still get the exact same amount of friendship points. Team trials is the primary way to get friendship points, so this doesn't matter that much. but the amount of monies and support points is increased by a lot. And alongside the changes to monies in the end of the career, this actually tremendously boosts the amount of monies income that we get, which is going to be very helpful, because I'm going to be talking about a specific thing later on, and monies is going to be very important for that. Of course, support points is also very important, and the fact that we almost get like 3 times the amount of support points from story events, it is going to be very, very nice. But this one over here, the TP bottles. So throughout the track, back then you used to get 8, but now it's going to be 4. As for why, it's probably because the bingo boards, you would like finish them in like much higher frequency compared to back then. So eventually you will break even in amount of the TP bottles and potentially get even more. It's just that they reduced the amount of TP bottles from the track itself. Moving on, like most of the stuff over here, the trainee scout tickets and such, they are still the exact same thing. But if we scroll down, these two over here. So the carats, back then it was 600 carats to like once you finish, but now it's going to be 1,500. That is 900 difference. That is a 2.5 times difference in terms of carats, which is of course very, very nice. And I would recommend that you finish the track because you get much higher carats. And of course, this is the first story event that will give you rainbow fragments. And once you get 20 of these, you get a rainbow limit break crystal, which lets you limit break any SSR card. So these are going to be very, very important. But if we swap over here really quickly, since I want to mention this, and since this is going to be something that is going to happen very frequently, but the third crystal is at the point 920,000. So I want you, like if you are going to slack like the 500 carats down here, at least go for this. The value that you would miss for not getting the third fragment is going to be a lot. So I would recommend that you should at least get 920,000 if you are a busy person, so that at least you don't miss out the rainbow crystal shards. But if we go back over here, there's one more thing that I want to talk about, and that is going to be a what if scenario. Do not take this into confirmation. This is just because of Global's messy schedule and them just releasing everything all over the place. So there is a possible chance of them shifting rewards. And what is it? So this scenario over here, if we swap again, I'm sorry, this event is going to be the first story event where they give you hint skill books. And what they do is that there is a possibility of them switching up the rewards track system from here and just put it on makeup and Halloween and keep the SSR. Like they just shift the rewards outside of the free card, because this gives you books and makeup and Halloween does not give you books. But in Global, we have the book event, like the hint books feature very early on Global. So there is a possibility of them saying, okay, let's just drop this on Global, where we shifted the rewards, that like the reward system, to the first JP event that gives you hint skill books. So what amount of skill books that we will get if we just go back to the Figma? They actually increase the amount of monies even more compared to, like if we compare both of these scenarios. Everything else is the same, but the differences is that you get 12 book of hints, 6 textbook of hints, and 2 book like rare book of hints, and 1 gold textbook events. I know it's not a lot, and that is what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like a very common resource, especially on global, since we received it early. But again, take this as a what if scenario. There could be a possibility of them saying, oh, okay, we're not going to do this. But considering the current state of global, I just figured to let you guys know about this and put it on the back of your mind, considering the fact that we have like the hint skill box feature very early on global. And yeah, that's going to be it. If you found this video to be helpful, consider subscribing. And I hope that you should like look more into the double TP if you're a casual player, since this will seriously help you get the 1 million points that you will need to finish the track. And yeah, that's going to be it. If you found this video to be helpful, consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next one.